Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Football Manager 2022 as we continue our Journeyman Glory Hunter run, starting our 18th season of this, our second season in Italy with ZEBRE here. We're going to be doing our award ceremony today and our transfer special. It was a really, really good season, just one game short of being amazing. Let's get into the episode. All right, here we are. End of season review for 2037-2038. We did win the Italian league, which is obviously the big one. We also won the Euro Cup, pretty good. And then, of course, we won the Italian Super Cup as well. One game short, 2 goals short of amazingness. Holland actually ended up being our best overall average rating. 27 appearances, 1 substitute, 24 goals, 3 assists. I only got a C plus for it, or C for him, I should say. Interesting. Lucas, C plus. Servi, an A for him. He's going to be around for a little bit longer. Gibbons should be around for a little bit longer as well. Deers should be around for quite a while longer. That's awesome. Logan should be around for a while. DeBoer, you know, he's still got some development ahead of him. Actually, no, he's capped out on development. Never mind. I mean, he's an okay backup player, but definitely not a starter. Bowden, we should be able to get a couple more years out of him. Dianzu is done, unfortunately. Van de Voort, I'm actually not sure. If he sticks around, we might be okay. But we might have to find us another goalkeeper. Negrini's going to be around for quite some time longer, so that's a good one for us. And then, of course, Botti here. Not a great player in the grand scheme of things. We didn't pay a lot for him, to be honest. And he does still have a little bit more to develop. So I think it was an okay one. But maybe they're just not happy with the wage, it looks like. Transfers out. Obviously, Tempestilli was the big one. Absolute big one. 43 appearances, 26 goals. I mean, come on. Holland came in here for a fraction of the price and got almost as many goals for us in half the amount of games. So I think we were okay. Fabiano, we got to see. Omionga. I mean, we sold him for so much money, and we still lost so much money this season. That's a crazy thing, right? We sold Omionga for is that how much we sold him for too? I mean, come on. How did we lose so much money? Oh well. Stella, Penders. Anybody here that we really care about? Anybody else? Not really. Loans out. I mean, they did all right. Still got some development ahead of them. Gianni's got so much potential. He might actually be in our first team this next year. Fumarola, probably not so much. And then Molini, he's got some potential, but definitely Gianni. Gianni's is in a good spot overall. Apparently they didn't like the fact that we didn't get a fee for them, but honestly, I just needed them to develop. We can't always get money for everybody. We've got to think about their development as well. We don't really need the money. I mean, we do, but not any money we would have gotten for them. We would not have gotten enough to make a difference. 107-point goal differential, 104 points overall, 20 points clear of the next closest person. We did have 2 losses. One of them was kind of our own making. The other one was the disappointing Napoli loss. 2 draws, though. 34 wins overall. Crazy, crazy stuff. Obviously, the board was happy with that. Euro Cup B-. Board was happy with that as well. We didn't actually lose any time during all of this. Just a couple draws. This one. And, of course, the Italian Super Cup, which we beat Milan in that one, but we couldn't beat them in the other one. Although, similar score spread, to be fair. Moments to remember. Come on. There we go. Biggest win. Udinese, 8-0. Match to remember, 6-0 against Sassuolo. And, of course, goal of the season came in our 4-2 victory very late in the season against Inter here from Ferry, of all people. This is the game right after the game that we lost that mattered, and then we went out there and just whooped up on them. I don't understand sometimes. I will say this, though, real quick. Look at the formation that Inter ran. Look at this formation. No wonder we had some trouble. I mean, I'm surprised that our under 18 guys, or under 20 guys were able to penetrate this insane defensive presence there. All right, let's see what we got here in goals. It was the 30th minute goal that we care about, which was the third one, it looks like. Why do we not have fan noise? It's on. Weird. Oh, I don't have it because my headphones are not on. There's one from Dubois, and here comes the next one. Here's the one that they say is the goal of the season. DeBoer gets it over to Ferry. It just even just barely stops for half a second, and then boom. I mean, it's a pretty good goal. Goal of the season? I don't know. Pretty good goal, though. I'll give it to him. Just insane that we did so good in this game and just couldn't do anything else otherwise. Oh well. I mean, they came back close. Or that was us. Sorry, that was Kamasa. That was for us. So that's when we went up 4-1, and then they came back and got one here at the end. And then I guess they had one that was offside or something, maybe. Oh man. Oh well. The finances were pretty bad, I'll be honest. Overall, we're good club reputation. No new sponsorships or anything like that, but I'm hoping that we'll get some new sponsorships going into this next season now that we're back in the Champions League. I think part of the reason why we lost so much money this season was because I spent like we were in the Champions League to get us in the Champions League, even though we weren't actually in the Champions League. You know what I mean? In fact, look at right here. $11 million or $10 million less on sponsorships, $40 million less almost on broadcast revenue. And then the $30 million less on competition prize money. You add those up, 30, 40, that's 70, 80 million bucks. That would have made a huge dent out of our losses for sure. So it was definitely because we just weren't in the Champions League. But we're back now. We're back now. Hopefully we can stay in there. Man, it's hard to see the colors here on these jerseys. Stevens got the top, Reina, Vaglini, Holland, and Kulusevski. Yeah, nice. Very nice. How we lined up, obviously we did the 4-1-4-1 here, or 4-1-5, depending on how you look at it. Van der Voort, Lucas, Servi, Negrini, Nianzi, Logan. Okay, yeah. Baldwin, Stevens, Diaz, Reina, and then Vaglina. Yeah, pretty fair. Yeah. Manager awards. No manager awards for us this season, it looks like, which is crazy. We might still get manager of the season, I think. I think we're still in the running for that, but it just hasn't come through in time for this. Fans player of the season was Vaglini. Young player of the season was Servi. Signing of the season was Van der Voort. Surprised it wasn't Holland, but yeah, that's okay. I mean, he was around for longer, to be fair. Goal of the season was Ferry. We already saw that one. Top goal scorer, 28 goals from Vaglini. Most assists, 18 assists from Reina. Most player of the match awards, 11 from Vaglini. Highest average rating was 7.8 from Vaglini. And then most passes completed was Ben Rumden. Most league appearances by player, Kulusevski, who's obviously going to be gone now. Youngest player was Natalie here. 15 years old, not even quite 16. It's one of the guys we brought in from one of the youngster spots. Tempestelli out for $202 million was the highest transfer fee received. And then our oldest goal scorer was Ibanez, almost 39 years old. There's a 23, almost 24-year difference between these two guys. That's crazy. History in the making. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch. And such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season award ceremony. ZEBRE fans, enjoy this. It doesn't get much better. It doesn't get much better. One game short of being amazing, but yeah, it does not get much better. I don't think anyone will be able to pull off a more impressive season than that. ZEBRE have been amazing. I agree. This was an incredibly crazy season. Reina named in the ZEBRE Best 11 squad. Is he a start? No, he's down here in this backups. There's Stevens obviously still in there. Delight. Yeah, fair enough. Tempestelli, of course, is in there. Okay. We don't care about the Dream 11. We don't care. We already saw that. We don't care about the 2026 squad. Overall, I mean, it's always passing and tackles. That's always the things that I'm always, my teams are bad on. Look how, like, we were in a league of our own. We were absolutely in a league of our own. Shooting, again, just, I still can't believe we lost that one game. Club expectations for next season. Obviously, we want to get to the Champions Cup semifinals. Fair enough. We want to win the Serie A. I guess it is. Whatever. So all that's pretty fine. I'm okay with all of that. Squad dynamics in the season team meeting. We'll get back to that. Team report. Time for break. Training camp destination. Honestly, I kind of just want to keep it close. Doesn't really matter. I kind of want to just keep it close to home. I'll praise you for your improvement. You got some potential, buddy. You got some potential. Vaglini gets a Euro Cup player of the season. Nice. Good stuff, my friend. And there's the Euro Cup squad of the season. Mostly us. Mostly us. All right, plans for next season. We'll stick with that. That's fair. We'll say later stages. Really? Nah, fair enough. We'll go with what you guys want to do. You want to reach the finals. We'll discuss promises later. That's fine. Have a good break. All right. I mean, not too bad of a meeting. Could have been better if I'd just been a little bit more ambitious, apparently. Alrighty. That is that, guys. Again, we've got to figure out the transfer stuff, right? Squad depth. If we... maybe expiring contracts, if we hide those. Is that what I'm looking to do? Yeah, Kulisevsky goes away on that one. Okay, so I think that's fair. So, I mean, we've got to get some replacements for some of our attacking spots. Obviously, Baldwin can't be the only guy on the left. I mean, he's not really, but in fact, if we reset this, we got more guys that could play over there, to be fair. But I thought Neonzi was leaving too. Maybe I had it backwards. I don't know. We'll have to look at it. I'll have to take some looks at it. We may change the formation up a little bit. But next thing you guys will see will probably be the end of the preseason and me just showing you what I've done. Unless something else comes up along the way. But that is that. So we will be back when there's something to talk about. All right. We are back. Still got a couple weeks left of preseason. So I'm not quite done with the preseason stuff yet. But I'm basically out of money. So figured I'd go ahead and show you what I've got. And well, I guess we go from there. But first off, we did sell Torre here. Let me get rid of my camera for a moment. Torre left at the end of the year. Truth be told, he was getting a little older, which is fine. I honestly liked him a lot. But, you know, we got a little bit of money for him from Chelsea. Definitely more than he was worth at the time. I did like him. Don't get me wrong. I like Torre a lot. But just seemed okay. We didn't play him a ton. We played him 21 games out of, what, like 40-something? So definitely a player that if we can get 31 mil for him, I'm sure we can replace 21 games worth of appearances somehow. Maybe not. Maybe it was a mistake, but I just figured I'd start some things off somewhere. And I thought I could get another player in his spot, which we kind of did. So we'll see what that looks like. Then if we come to this year, I'm going to turn my camera back on now. The only other big move that went out this year is Ben Rumden. I mean, there's a bunch of, just other people that we don't really care about. But Ben Rumden went out. 58 mil for him was, again, kind of over his value at the time. I mean, we bought him for 14.25 a few years ago. Sold him for 58 mil now. Again, he's another player. He basically shared duties with Toure a lot, right? So he's the guy that played the other half. So basically, we sold a season's worth of player for, what, 35 plus 58? So it's 94 million. Which isn't too bad. Now, here's the only problem with both of these sales is I'm not unhappy with getting 94 million for these two guys, because I think for 94 million we can get a really good player in that same spot that would play most of the games. The problem with that is, though, that because of our financial situation, we only got to keep like a quarter of that money from both of those guys, from each of those guys, into our transfer budget. The rest of it just went into the bank account, which is probably smart, but definitely made it harder for us to get new guys coming back in. So here we go. We did get a few guys, and as you can see, there's a big one. There is one really big one, and then a couple, medium-sized ones, and then a couple smaller ones, right? So first up, we've got Amy, probably just Amy. Wisdom Amy here coming in. He comes in from Liverpool. He is a 32-year-old 4-star right back or center back, so he can play in either spot. He is Italian. It's pretty awesome, right? We're team in Italy, getting an Italian in here. He's been on sevens for several years going in England, so that actually says a lot. So he's going to be a good player, I think. Honestly, he's young enough, at 32 years old, that we could probably get a couple years out of him, or the team could probably get a couple years out of him. I'm hoping I'm not still here as this guy continues on his career. But like I said, he's going to be a good player for us, I think. Lots of experience, and that's part of it. I already said before I went away, that I was going to have to get some older players in here because older players are a little bit cheaper. We would not be able to get a player of his caliber if he wasn't 32 years old, right? At that price. So, then we get Ralph Van Schindel. Okay, we're just going to call you. Then we've got Ralph in here. Did I not take? No, it took. Okay, I just didn't take on the screen. So Ralph comes in here. He's the big one, guys. He's the one coming from Ajax. He comes in here. He's a Dutch player, so I don't know if we have any other Dutch players right now, to be honest. No, I thought we had one, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He can play in the middle. He can play on the left. He can technically play striker. He's actually, believe it or not, our best striker right now. Surprise, surprise. But he is obviously just a really, really good player. He only played 24 games last season, but 7.47, 7.2. I mean, he's obviously knows what he's doing. He's a good player. Definitely the best player that I brought in this season. Again, might even possibly be the best player I have at the team right now. 4.5 star player, just really solid, elite attacking midfielder here. Sorry about the yawns. That's what I do for sitting here for all this time trying to do transfers. It's kind of late, so I just wanted to wrap up the video here. I think he's going to be doing some good stuff for us. I really do. And at the very least, I wanted some depth. But if this guy can come in here and give some of other guys a chance to rest a bit more and stuff like that, then it's going to be awesome. A guy that we know about, Xenopoulos here, comes in. He's still only 2 stars. What is with this guy? Only 2 stars still. But we know that this guy plays like a 3-star player. We played him at Barcelona. This guy plays like he's a 3-star player. Now, we're not playing midfielder. We're going to try and play him as an attacking midfielder or a striker, I guess, sometimes. But I'm not worried about his rating at all. I know that this guy can bring it. So I'm pretty happy to have him, even though my fans are not super happy about me having him. Custodia comes in here, basically same fee. I mean, we're paying a little bit of money for him on the fee side of things. Another 2-star player right now. We'll see if he can do the same thing and be a player that plays above his current rating. But he's a good potential defensive midfielder backup, right back, or central defender. Honestly, he's just a solid 2-star player that can play in any of these spots. I'm just hoping he can kind of, if he plays at a 2.5 star level, I'd be happy, right? I mean, I don't need much. I just need somebody who can come in here and do some rotation for us. Then we've got Bruno coming in here for Manchester United. Same as Xenopoulos. 26 mil up front, could go up to 31.5. Another older player. Oh, no, sorry, this is not the older player. This is the younger one. Sorry. This guy comes in here. 2-star could go as far high as 4-star. He can definitely play that defensive midfielder spot. We probably would prefer to play him ahead of Custodia, just because we want this guy to develop. Because if this guy ever, developed into a 4-star player, that this is a ridiculously good player for this team at a bargain price, quite frankly. If this guy turns into a 4-star player, then he's worth 75 mil plus easily. Christopher Bruder comes in here, 2.5 mil. Not much money there, to be fair, for a guy that's 21 years old and already 2.5 star player. Could even get as high as a 3-star. I thought this was going to be a pretty good deal. I don't think he's been playing very well, right? He only played 6.8 last season on 13 games. The season before that, he was in the 3rd league, which was a 7.4, but that's lower, level, competition. So did we overplay for a player? I don't know. Honestly, I got him more as a current star rating than how he's been playing, and I'm hoping he can just play well. I just needed some more people that could back up that left back side. And he was like one of the better players that I could get for that spot. So there you go. We'll see what he does. He may not turn into anything, but that's okay. And then we got another big name here. Did we play with Kamavinka yet? Or have we just seen him a lot? Or has he been on our Spanish team? I can't remember. No, he's been at Real Madrid this whole time. So no, he has not been playing for me in any of the teams I've had other than the Spanish team. So, but obviously Kamavinka here is a 4-star. He's 35 years old. He's old. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be another one of those players if we can just get a year out of him. That's all I need him for, and then I'll be happy with that. Going to anchor that defensive midfielder spot. Not as an anchor, but you know what I mean. But yeah, obviously solid player. Absolutely solid player. And he's going to be fine for us, I think. Just like I said, just got to get a year out of him. Even if I don't get the full year out of him, a couple of these other guys can back him up, and he can play some of the big impact games. I think we'll be fine. So, after all that said, finances, I mean, the overall balance is not great. I did go a little bit more on the transfer budget than I meant to, but I also sold some players that did go right back into that balance. So some of that is pretty good. I mean, projection is still pretty bad, right? But if we can stay in the Champions League, I think they'll slowly but surely start to bounce back a bit. Hopefully, we'll see. I didn't really go over. I mean, my budget's like $400,000 less on the wage budget, and we technically have some money left in the transfer budget. Not much, but we do have some. What else could I do, though? I mean, I got to get the players to fill the spots, right? So, squad depth overall, again, same little asterisks as usual. and that there's not necessarily where these players will end up playing, just that this is just to make sure I have a player, at least 2 players in every single spot. That's all this is, that can play in every spot, and then I'll just mix and match some power when I need to. But as you can see, current star ratings, in fact, let's go down to our better guy. Current star ratings, Ralph is listed as our best player on our team right now. So that's not bad, right? It's not bad at all. Guy that's 23 years old, and he's not even technically hit his prime, right? So I think that's going to be a really good pickup for this team in the long run. Kind of demotes Reina back to a backup spot, which is crazy to think about, as good as this guy is. But if this guy can come in as an impact sub at 35 years old, I would. He's going to be strong. He's going to be an incredibly good impact sub, right? Xenopoulos is down here. I mean, we're going to play Xenopoulos. I know how good he can be. Kamavinka obviously looks pretty good. That's actually going to give us probably a better defensive midfield than we had last year, just from him. We'll see how these other guys can play out. I mean, is the team better than last year? I mean, between Ralph and Kamavinga, I mean, Holland's the same, Stevens the same, Deer's the same, Bowden's the same, Lucas, Nyanzu, Negrini, Logan, and Van der Voort. So yeah, if we're just looking at, we did improve 2 spots. Not necessarily that we were weaknesses in those 2 spots, but we did in fact improve 2 spots. If we just played our best players, then yeah, I would say that this is a better team than we had last year. I didn't think it was going to be. Honestly, I was struggling for a bit there. I did not know if we were going to end up being able to get the improvements that we needed. So, get us with the yawns. I apologize, guys. You remember you have to like every time I yawn, right? Of course, you can only like once, and I've yawned how many times this episode. Really, our biggest weakness right now, surprisingly, is our goalkeeping. I mean, he's still, I think, going to be a sufficient player for us, but definitely our weakness. It might be worth playing Giordano just to give him some time to see if he can develop into something, because he's not that far behind Van der Voort. I mean, Van der Voort's got the 101s, but Giordano's not that far behind. Really not that far behind at all. What if we look at, let me see what I'm looking for, report. Compare with ZEBRE. What? Why can't I not repair you? Oh, I thought I was on Giordano. I'm on Van der Voort. I'm like, why can't I compare with Van der Voort? Because I am Van der Voort. Giordano. So we're looking at the guy in the blue. I mean, yeah, he's not quite there, right? He's good on the physicals. He's a little bit lower on some of these spots. But that's just the thing. He's got to develop. I mean, he's a little bit better on the aerial, which is pretty cool. But he's definitely, he's not as good. I'm not going to pretend he's as good. But is he good enough to start featuring in a few games? Maybe. Maybe we give him some time. We'll see. Because obviously he has the potential to be way better if he gets the time to play. Which, as goalkeepers, they don't usually get as much time to play, because goalkeepers just don't get tired very often. So you don't usually play your backup goalkeepers very often, just naturally. I mean, you have to kind of force it, whereas most of your other players will rotate through at least some point during the season. Oh, anyway, so that's the team, guys. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like I said, we are technically better than last year if we play our starters. Our backups probably are not quite as good as last year, I would say. And that's probably the bigger sticking points. But we would see. I mean, if we were to come over here, if I was going to come over here and say quick pick without restriction, best 11. Who does my manager think it is? So Holland, Bowden, Ralph, Deers, Stevens. Would I play Ralph on the left or the right? Very strong on the left. Yeah, I think I'd play him on the left then. Gibbons coming in here. That's good. Although there's a lot of teams coming in for Gibbons right now that really want him. Amy comes in here on the right-hand side as our best right back, which, okay. I'm okay with that. He's able to play over there. If he can get the nod over Logan, I'm not against that at all. He's got the experience. We'll see what he can do. Of course, Negrini, Nyanzu in the middle here. Kamavinga ahead of him. No, this is a really strong team, guys. This is a really strong team. And we just need him to play, what, 5 games basically, right? So, I mean, they're going to have to play a lot of games, but we only need him for the 5. We got to get into this 3rd round. We got to get past that, and then we got to win the cup, right? So, anyway, another thing you probably already noticed. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. We are no longer the Spanish manager. We lost to, so we got past Brazil, which, is obviously going to be a good team, typically. We got past them in the quarterfinals, I think, of the World Cup. Was that what it was? Let me see. Spain. Where's my schedule? Oh no, so we got past them in the third round. And then we faced up against Argentina in the quarterfinals, which obviously Argentina, I mean, we know that those South American teams know how to play some football. And unfortunately, Argentina did in fact beat us by only just one goal. It was a close game, right? So unfortunately, we got knocked out of the World Cups obviously earlier than they wanted us to because we're Spain. And they got rid of us, which is a little, I don't know. I feel like that's a little unfair. We just won the World Cup a couple years ago, right? So it is what it is. I need to find another team now. I haven't seen any come up yet. I've been kind of keeping an eye on it. We'll have to see if we can find one. If at the end of the day, I just can't get another international job and we end with that's the one box that doesn't get filled in, I'll still feel pretty proud of myself for doing everything we did do. But we would like to try and win this if we can. So we'll see. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. I'm pretty excited to get into this next season, though. I mean, there's going to be a lot of simming on my part because I just don't really care about the league that much. But I'm still excited to see what the team can do. So actually, let's check something real quick. What is our season preview? Yeah, we're still slated to, or we're still, got the nod to be the #1 team in the league. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the top 11 players here. And Ralph is one of them. So that's a really big deal. That's a really big deal. So we'll see. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you. And I hope you join me again next time. Thank you and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.